Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP Morning Show.
Olá Bom Dia ALEGRIA, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. And let's start, shall we, with that Bom Dia Daily, a little bit of news, weather, language, culture and well-being. How are you doing? Do let me know in the chat if you will. And if you want to send anything in to me, do that via WhatsApp on 913-590-303. Look at this, T-Duck, member for 22 months. Bom dia alegria, Gump, as you say, and Anna's already in as well this morning. Bom dia todos from the Algarve, I take it. And Jackie too. See you tonight, Jackie, for Munson and the Geezer. Oh, let me just quickly mention this before we get into more news and weather and a little bit of language, culture and well-being. Tonight on Munson and the Geezer, we are looking at our favorite Portugal YouTubers, our top three. It's not an easy choice to make, and there are all sorts of criteria, but a great idea there from the Portugueser. And so we'll be doing that tonight at 7 o'clock. And also, yeah, if you join us at 8:30 as well, we've got an interesting Portugal club conversation with a chap from the UK called Chris Rattenbury, where we're asking the question, what's going on in the UK at the moment? That's at 8:30. Anyway, let's get started with that news on the Bom Dia Daily here. And I need to see if it works this morning. If we can bring to you a shared screen. Wasn't so easy in the Firefox browser yesterday. I think we've managed to make it work on Chrome this morning. How about that? Yes! Wonderful. Yeah, very good. Excellent stuff. Let me bring it onto the screen for you and pick up where we left off yesterday morning. This is the news on the front page, a lighter-hearted look at some of the news that's going on in Portugal. We were talking about Braille Wonder Bras yesterday. That's not an actual piece of news. That was just something that entered my febrile imagination whilst I was writing this piece for the Portugal Resident, which is, yeah, the currently published piece in the Portugal Resident at the moment. And we talked yesterday about the news of the USB-C cable or port, really, actually, all of the new kit that's being made by European EU decree must have a USB-C charging port on it. The universal serial bus is what the USB, that's what we got to yesterday, wasn't it? The USB, which stands for Universal Serial Bus, and not utterly stupid anything that many of us often scream as we're trying to insert it the right way up. And let's move on then from technology to Tupperware this morning. Yes, Tupperware. Who used to take their packed lunch to school in Tupperware? I know I did. And I remember actually having when my mum and dad had a pub in Bristol in the UK, my mum made me a shandy in a Tupperware cup. It was blue, as I recall, not unlike the blue background that you're seeing in front of you there. And it had a little, of course, a snappy top on it. I think during the school trip, the shandy that she made from real beer, yes, it was the 70s, and I took a shandy of real beer on a school trip, and that was started to shake in the overhead rack of the this is all coming back to me now. It started to shake and fizz, and eventually blew the top of its of the Tupperware container, drenching the child below, who smelt for the rest of the trip of shandy. I don't know if shandy is a shandy an American thing as well, like but beer and lemonade anyway. A panache, you might call it here in Portugal. Not only that, but it mixed up with my egg mayonnaise sandwiches that were also part of my packed lunch. It's pretty unholy stink, I have to say. Anyway, from technology to Tupperware, whose Portuguese operation in Constância, this is not great news for those who work there. It's closing its doors, the Portuguese Tupperware factory, closing its doors after 45 years. That may lead to the loss of around 200 jobs. The plastic pot parent company in the United States, Party Products is what they're called. They filed for bankruptcy. So the parent company is going down. Well, it's going to be left in the back of the proverbial kitchen cupboard, isn't it? Metaphorically speaking, no lids to be seen. They will eventually turn up in the same part of the universe as the odd socks. They filed for bankruptcy in autumn of 24. And they managed to create something of a survival package, but sadly that didn't include the Portugal operation. This surprised some business analysts who thought their business was airtight. And returning to underwear, it was hoped that the Tupperware bra might save the company. This, a garment that didn't lift, separate, or support, but promised to keep what you got nice and fresh, was not to be. On a serious note, though, I sincerely hope that the folks who were employed by Tupperware over there in Constancia can find meaningful employment elsewhere. And I'm sure with 200 people working there, that would be a lot of additional jobs, knock-on jobs connected to that bit of industry up there in Constancia. The government have been asked to step in and help them with that. And finally then, on this particular news sweep that you can read in the Portugal Resident this week, yes, that makes me feel more newsy saying, and finally, I read in the Palm Beach Post that automotive entrepreneur, car dealer, John Arrigo has been nominated by the US president-elect, who, like Tupperware, was once white but is now orange. It writes itself, doesn't it? Is the next US ambassador to Portugal. That will be John Arrigo, the 60-year-old VP of Arrigo Automotive Group, who lives in Jupiter, not on Jupiter. Although I'm guessing if he sticks close to Donald, he'll get access to Elon as well, and maybe end up in Jupiter, on the Jupiter, as well as living in Jupiter in Florida. He should be in post by the end of this month and is noted for his business acumen and golf skills. Trump said of Arrigo, I've known John for a long time. He will do an incredible job for our country, and he'll always put America first. Thank you. He replaces Randy. It's like having him in the room, wasn't it? He replaces Randy Levine and is well known in West Palm Beach for his and his brother's comical car commercials. I think we need to research those car commercials by John Arrigo, the new American ambassador to Portugal, and give him a spin on the Good Morning Portugal show. Maybe he'll join us. It's unknown what connection, if any, John Arrigo has with Portugal, added the Post, but no one, I'm guessing, will be surprised to spot him golfing in the Algarve, coming up with some snappy suggestion for toll roads if he's an automotive entrepreneur. Although I think a lot of the toll roads have been relaxed, haven't they? Or the prices have been cut, or they've been suspended anyway. He may have a view on that. And I imagine as well, as a car dealer from Florida, he'll also help us see the funny side of car prices in Portugal. Anyway, boa sorte in your new job, John. Maybe we'll see you on the show one of these days. Reading this from the homepage of Good Morning Portugal, where you can help yourself with a lot of offers and deals and specials and affiliate connections there, which helps us at the same time as well. We'll move on to the weather in just a moment, after we've had a little bit of a chat with everybody who's joined us this morning. António Barbosa with us. Bom dia, happy Tuesday. He'll be joining us at 8:40 when he'll be fresh from the gym. And at a slightly new time, his 20-minute slot starts at 8:40 this morning, and António Barbosa will be giving us a look at the new year from a Tony Time perspective, a Tony Time POV of what he thinks is in store for Portugal for 2025. Dan also in this morning. Good morning to you, Dan. Dan Thompson, Bom dia, starting an hour earlier makes me feel like daylight saving stuff. Is this working? I'm enjoying it. It really is very different to me when I can take the dogs out and when I finish the breakfast show. For me, it is like having an extra hour in the day. So I'm enjoying it. I hope you're finding it useful too. Bom dia, Portugal, from João Ernesto de Norte, who'll be joining us at around 8:20 as well. And John shared with us yesterday his experience of trigeminal neuropathy, and he'll be telling us a little bit about that this morning. As well, I hope, about his Christmas trip, his festive trip over to Germany this year, which of course is a great thing to do. If you live in Portugal, you can pop to various parts of the continent here. John did exactly that. John and Pam did that over the Christmas, and we'll have a little chat about popping to Germany for those traditional German. It escapes me now. I did study German. I can't remember. Is it Frohe Weihnachten? I think is a happy Christmas. Sounds quite threatening, doesn't it? But I think that is happy Christmas in German. Everything sounds threatening in German, doesn't it? I know what Portugal is facing this year. I haven't got that jingle yet. We might need this one when you arrive here, though, Jackie. I know what, or some of this. No, not that one. Sorry, definitely not that one. I'm just getting, as you can probably tell, getting used to the new jingle pad here. How about some of this for you, Jackie, when you arrive? Yes, Jackie's here, everybody. There you go. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Jackie. T-Duck responding to the Tupperware there. We use paper bags. Tupperware was for the rich kids. Wow. It was an investment though, wasn't it? Because it did last many years. If you could keep that's what they never really nailed, was it? Is maybe now in the time of tracking chips, is you could put a tracking chip. They failed to pick up on that innovation of finding a way, maybe a smart Tupperware, where you can locate the lid for your respective, the main body part of the Tupperware, having its, maybe it beeps, like car keys used to do, when it can locate its lid using smart technology. Anyway, not to be here in Portugal. Bon dia from Bob and Viv, comfortable in the house with the work. Oh, well done. Those healing vibes worked, didn't they? That we were sending you from our new show on New Reality TV. 2 talented and persistent technicians brought the dead back to life. Wow. Do they confine that to boilers or any domestic goods there, Bob and Viv? I'm really glad to hear that you're warm because it is a pretty cold time of year. Talking of which, let's have a look at that weather, shall we? The all-new weather page. Oh, a couple of bits of domestic news as well, because you can see here that the weather page are supported and sponsored by Spartan FX here, foreign exchange as it should be. Bobby O'Reilly, head that. Welcome to the Good Morning Portugal show. Taking a little bit of a break from sponsorship of the show. And I do thank you, Bobby, for everything you've done and your support of the show. And we look forward to speaking to you soon and finding out what's going on at Herdad de Meia and all your amazing projects that you're involved with, Bobby. So looking forward to seeing you on the screen soon. And another bit of community for Andy and for Lola. There's a parabéns for you two. Hold on, where is it? Everything's been moved around since we've rejigged the studio here. One of these for Andy Klein and Lola up there in Aveiro. For you, Andy and Lola. 2 years in Portugal. Love to celebrate those milestones with you. So if you've got one like that, T-Duck, 22 months, a member of our YouTube channel. And Andy and Lola, 2 years in Portugal. So congratulations to you too. It absolutely flies by, doesn't it, the time here in Portugal? Other Gumpers might like to say how long you've been here in the chat. João Ernesto and António Barbosa getting rid. I thought Tony was having some Tony time in the gym. He might be back early, or he might have been winding me up about going to the gym. Can't wait. Had enough leaving boat with broker and just leaving. Wow. We'll come back for visa interview and HP Sauce. Maybe it's the new Silk Road, isn't it? The trade trail back to the UK, and you can get us pork pies and HP Sauce and that sort of stuff. PG Tips, thank you, Jackie. Give me a shout before you come back and forth to see what you can haul over here to Portugal. Bob and Viv from Jackie, I wish I had a working boiler, brand new one, been condemned by the manufacturers a couple of days before Christmas. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that, Jackie. Yeah, I'm sure you can't wait. Maybe you'll join us this evening with Chris Rattenbury, Jackie. He's also fed up with the UK and heading towards Portugal. We'll be having a chat to him about that at 8:30 this evening at the Portugal Club. Let me take that great big banner off the screen there and have a look at this weather before we welcome John. And a quick bit of language and culture news, and of course, a bit of well-being information and inspiration as well. The Bon Dia Daily, little bit of news. Where is that? I don't remember. Oh yeah, here we go. It's on twice. There you go. That's right. The Bom Dia Daily. That's what we're doing. The first part of Good Morning Portugal. 20 minutes of news, weather, language, culture, and well-being. So let's take a look at that weather now. It's I think it's fair to say rainy. Although, look at this. A few clouds in Lisbon at the moment. A high of 16 today, currently 9 degrees. And I was going to say looking forward. If you're a duck, of course, yeah, looking forward to more rain tomorrow and Friday. And the high at the weekend of 20. So temperatures rising for the weekend, although still looking a little bit soggy in the capital. In Porto, it is 10 degrees at the moment with a high of 14 and a very rainy looking week up there. 12 degrees currently in Porto. Coimbra, 9 degrees currently, overcast with clouds there. A low of 8 and a high of 14. Faro, look at this. Well done. Of our 300 days of sunshine that we know happen here in Portugal, whether the Portuguese likes it or not. With a lovely clear sky and a sunny day with a high of 16 and a low of 9 in Faro. And Braga on these key points. That's what, when we do the weather in the morning, we look at these key points. And I can do you your weather in your district by request, because there are, of course, 18 districts here in Portugal. Aveiro, Bragança, Beja, Castelo Branco, Évora, Guarda, Leiria, Porto Alegre, Santarém, Setúbal, Viana do Castelo and Villarreal and Viseu, as well as the autonomous regions of the Açores and Madeira. If you want any of those by request, do let me know. We will finish today on the weather with Faro, which will have a high of 16 and a sunny day, low of 9, which it is currently, and a bit of rain returning tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and a kind of cloudy but warm, very mild weekend ahead in the Algarve of 21 and 20-degree highs of centigrade, that is, just to be clear, for the weekend. So there you go. That's your Spartan FX weather. Check it out. Get a free account with Spartan FX by clicking on that link on our website there. Excellent. Right. Wanted to talk to you in our language and culture bit of the Bom Dia Daily about the 7 best apps to help you learn Portuguese. Let me bring those onto the screen. This from Portugal.com. Which of these have you used? What are you using at the moment? I know that, what's the one that's very popular in this household? I'm not keen on learning Portuguese myself. I prefer making a fool of myself in shops and restaurants in developing my Portuguese. The kids quite like these apps. Let's take a look at them now. Thank you to Portugal.com. This flashed past me on social media yesterday. Oh, talking of which, on social media as well, Gavin Williamson having a little bit of trouble seeing face posts for Good Morning Portugal. I wonder if anyone else is having that sort of problem. Do let me know if you come on. A little bit of an unresponsive page there. I'm going to click on the wait button and see what happens, and I'll start reading it out myself over at Portugal.com. The 7 best apps to help you learn European Portuguese. And Joel, who we've spoken to in the past there. And you can do that for €15 a month or pay 153 for the year to get the Practice Portuguese app. Well, that was unfortunate, wasn't it? How far did I get into my guide to the 7 best apps to help you learn? I think it all went wrong when I tried to share it on the screen. So yeah, Drops is a free language app. That's how far I got. You with me on that, and perhaps we can pick it up there. And let me bring that onto the screen so that you can. Right, there we are. We're back again now. What a funny morning this is. All right, YouTube lessons. Do you know what? I'm not going to try and share any screens anymore this morning. Let me give this particular PC a bit of a rub down after the show, and I'll just read these out for you behind the scenes. So we got to Drops. That's after we had a little look at Reverso. Number 6 is Drops, visually engaging and user-friendly app that makes learning European Portuguese an enjoyable experience. And then finally, in their list of 7 apps, we've got Lingo Clip, another one actually which I haven't heard of. Lingo Clip is a unique and highly engaging app that offers learners the chance to improve their European Portuguese by using one of the most enjoyable learning tools, music. This is a very good smattering, is it not? By integrating popular songs from Portuguese-speaking artists. Very good Lingo Clip. Haven't heard of that. That sounds very interesting. Let me put the link to that list of 7 apps from Portugal.com in the chat to help you with your language skills, developing your language skills. I'll be with you in just a moment, John. I've not got the hang of doing 20 minutes of news, weather, language, culture, and well-being just yet. Suffice to say that over at the Portugal Club, under the heading of anyone going hard on the lard, picking up on the coach's message yesterday of easing back into it if you've had an indulgent Christmas and New Year. I know Michael last night was telling us he put on 4 kilos over the Christmas period. That's why he and Kat are having a dry January. There you go. If you want to share what you're doing to ease yourself back into a fitter and leaner 2025, you can do that on that link there, and we can support each other in that. Okay, just a very quick bit of inspiration then for you from memes that have been squirreled away. Dry January, of course, for some people is dragging a bit. That was posted on January the 1st. Is it me, or is Dry January dragging a bit? Also, for your well-being, inspiration and information, keep calm and not carry on, but be crazy, laugh, love, and live it up, because this is the oldest you've been and it's the youngest you'll ever be again. And also, finally, then, before we go to John, saving $8, I guess you can make this any currency you like, but saving 8 units of money will give you 2,920 of those units over the year. Reading 20 pages per day equals 30 books a year. It's all about the little steps, isn't it? How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. Walking 10,000 steps per day. And that's what I want to do. I want to do a 10K in the bay, not kilometers, not miles, not meters, but 10,000 steps in the bay here at San Martino de Porto. And you might like to do that with me if you visit. Walking 10,000 steps per day is 70 marathons a year. Never underestimate the power of small habits, it says right there. Okay, let's give him a nice big round of applause and give João Ernesto de Norte a welcome to the Good Morning Portugal show. Hi, John. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. We'll see how this goes.
Oh, mate. And you were telling us yesterday, weren't you, about your trigeminal neuropathy. And I can hear it. It's a little bit of a struggle to speak for you at the moment by the sound of it.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, bless you.
It's right there. So get yourself a nail and jam it into your forehead.
More
hard
health and
enough to-
well-being advice.
Hard enough to draw blood, and yeah.
Wow. And that when you say it's there, is that the source of the pain? Is that where where the hurting is?
Yep.
My goodness. Right. Okay.
I sent you a snapshot of the nerve.
Oh, right. Okay. Let
And
me see if I can find that. You
it'll
did. Absolutely.
It'll give people a good image of what it's about.
Right. So how long has this been going on for you, John? I think you've been very stoic about this, and you decided to share this with us yesterday. Has this been an issue for a little bit of time for you then?
Yeah, since summertime,
Right.
just before my eye surgery, nothing related. But what's new now is it being triggered by speech
Oh,
and
no.
by
Okay.
eating. So as far as losing weight, I highly recommend this.
Okay. All right. Because that complicates things, does it?
Yeah,
Oh, I
if you
see. I
can't,
mean, you can't eat very much, so you're losing
no,
weight.
it's too painful to
Oh,
eat
my word.
solid foods.
Oh my goodness! So this is really affecting things for you, and this is does it come in? Is it a bit like how migraines affect people? It kind of comes out of nowhere, and you can't really sort of you can't know when it's going to happen. Then you experience a bout of it.
Normally, so in general, I mean, if you bring up that image, we can talk about it.
Yeah, let me show. Let
But
me put
it's
that on the screen.
in my case, so it's called trigeminal because there's three main nerve channels, and in my case, it's the ophthalmic branch, the one that is from your eyebrow up, and you can see there's other branches too, but in my case right now, it's being triggered just by the sound waves or the sonic vibrations in my mouth is what is triggering it. So it happens when the trigeminal nerve is damaged or irritated, and it can be treated by medications or brain surgery, which sounds rather dramatic.
It does.
But they can go in there. What's happening is that the nerve is being pressured by a blood vessel right next to it.
Right.
And just like an electronic cable is wrapped in a plastic sheath.
Yep.
The same thing with your nerves. They have a membrane.
Myelin sheath, isn't it called?
Yeah, and that can be rubbed raw and the nerve underneath it exposed. And so when it makes contact with the blood vessel, it fires.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so it causes an intense facial pain that can disrupt regular activity. Up till this past week or so, actually just after getting back from holiday, it was always just sporadic. It was only triggered by touching or taking a shower.
Yeah.
Just the wind.
My goodness, right.
Just
So
a
you have
gentle touch.
hypersensitivity, right.
But it was never voice or eating. So this is different. So this has prompted me to make a appointment with a neurologist, because this is not tolerable.
No. Well, thank you for being with us and sharing with us what's going on for you, John. As much as I feel bad about having you here and talking and making it worse, but I guess it's quite useful to update people on what's going on for you. And clearly, you've had a diagnosis. You're beyond the diagnosis stage, and you've had decent help, have you, here in Portugal?
Well, I have only self-diagnosed it so far. Hey, look,
Oh,
right
okay.
now it's not hurting.
Yeah.
But it's rather obvious. I mean, the symptoms are plainly described online in any number of places. If you look it up, there's a good article by the Cleveland Clinic. Wikipedia articles. Obviously, not that everything in Wikipedia is accurate, but this is a very well-known neurological issue, and it's not at all. There's other kinds of facial pains people have, but what is distinctive about trigeminal nerve pain is its sharp, intense, explosive, like a shock, like you're getting tortured by a shock cord or whatever. So just get a nail or a sharp piece of glass and jam it into your eyebrow, and you'll get the same sensation. So there's nothing dull or achy about it. It's
intense.
bam.
Yeah. My goodness. Right. So what how do you respond to that? You just have to rest a lot, do you?
I don't know if that really helps. I think getting up and around and living life is all you can do.
Wow.
But
okay. Well,
you need to have it treated. So
yes.
That's why I'm going to a neurologist to have them. They'll do an MRI, and then there's drugs you can take that have they're powerful drugs. I mean, there's stuff for like treating convulsions and epilepsy, that kind of thing. So I don't look forward to that. And there's side effects and things. And in many cases, it might not work because there's like 4 or 5 different types of medications that one can take depending on how you respond. The other option is surgery that they do, where they actually can either make room between the nerve and the blood vessel to give it space and allow that sheath to grow back, or they can actually sever the nerve in question, in this case the one up here, which ends up numbing that part of your face, which to me, I'd go with that. As long as I don't get brain damage. But it's apparently a fairly common surgery technique that they do, but I don't know. We'll see what the doctor says.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you're going to get an official confirmation of what you found out for yourself there, and we'll go on this journey with you. I mean, I really feel for you with this, John, as I'm sure many other people do here as well who are watching. Dan, for example, thanks for sharing, John. Wishing you the best, as I'm sure we all are here. And Vera Lockie also here this morning. Clusters, neurological. I have it awful. Please get in touch. So a little bit of support from Vera there. You might have to give us a way of doing that, Vera. I can't even talk in the middle of an attack. Yes, I hope you get that, John. My best coping mechanism is oxygen. Can one get it in Portugal? I suspect you can. I mean, it does sound like a fairly straightforward matter, getting an oxygen supply here in Portugal. I'm sure that's possible. Have you seen that as a possible treatment, John?
I've not read that online anywhere, but it's the blood vessel, pushing against the nerve.
Yeah.
And so it can be brought on by stress,
Yes.
higher blood pressure. I don't have high blood pressure. My blood pressure is perfect, but
Yeah.
I don't know, stress related, because I have some stuff going on back in the States that hopefully will get resolved this year.
Yeah.
So I think I've talked to you about it.
Yeah.
Legal
Absolutely.
stuff having to do with a land sale.
Yeah.
But
So you could do without that going on in the
Yeah.
background, reduce stress as much as possible. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
And
But the holiday was great.
well, yes, I wanted to ask you about that. Douglas also here this morning. This sounds pretty bad. So sorry to hear of your condition. And if anybody does know of any other treatments, suggestions for John, of course, John is a key part of our community here. So if you're aware of anything comes across your radar, send it to me and I'll pass it on to John, or you might have a direct connection with him anywhere, and you can direct message him at the Portugal Club. So John, all the best with that, and keep us informed. And Germany was a great little break for you, was it, to get over there and celebrate Christmas in a German way?
Yeah, well, Austrian, I should say.
Okay.
It was the very first day was in Passau, Germany, but then the rest of the trip, going down the Danube River to, we went and visited Salzburg and Melk and Vienna and,
lovely.
and Bratislava in Slovakia, and then back up again. And let's see, there was some wonderful places that we visited along the way. Went to a Christmas Mass concert in Durnberg. Trying to recall the name of the village. This is really magical. I sent you some video or some pictures, but it wasn't exactly snow everywhere, but overnight you'd get this thick fog on the river, which then would freeze in the trees. And so you just would have this magical, everything has this coating of frost and ice on all the branches of all the trees. And so you're floating along in this fairyland,
It's a winter wonderland, really, right?
Yeah. So I think the high of the week was 4. So,
Right.
bundle up. I was very much in love with my scarf.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, basically dressed for life indoors in Portugal at the moment. I've got my scarf near me as well. Well, John, so that sounds nice. An Austrian, starting in Germany, but an Austrian festive time, a Frohe Weihnachten there. And we do have a little bit of video. We're going to sail down the river with you in exactly the way that you've described. So do take great care. I don't suppose you've got much of an option, have you, apart from to just, kind of keep still and find out what you can do and then go and do it, right?
Yeah, just keep calm and carry on and do what you can.
Yes, yeah. Well, if anyone's got any extra suggestions, and it's always, I think it's finding the balance, isn't it? Because people, I think, naturally compassionate and caring, and especially so in our community. And there probably comes a point where you get sick of people saying, "Have you tried this? Have you tried this?" Because you probably have in many ways, but there might be something that you haven't considered that people may know of and want to share with you, and you can do that either directly with John or through me if you want to. Sorry that you're experiencing such discomfort, says Mike here over in Miranda de Corva. I hope your neurology appointment goes well and gives you some answers. I think that will be some reassurance, hopefully, won't it? To know that you're taking a step in the right direction, I guess, brings some little bit of comfort if it doesn't take away the pain.
Yeah, well, we'll at least know more, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a week from Wednesday, so it's on the 15th of this month.
Right.
We'll
and on that note, John, have you felt well taken care of here in Portugal? Because I know with the eye surgery that you told us about, that went very well, and it was a good experience. Well, I mean, in terms of the world of having operations, it was a good one here in Portugal. Are you feeling well taken care of in this regard with this particular condition?
Yeah, well, this particular condition I don't know yet because
Right.
I have to have my appointment. But yeah, I'm working with this Hospital de Seiras in Braga,
Uh-huh.
and they've been fantastic. It's a
Good.
private hospital, but they take my insurance, which is through Winsurance. It's MGen, which uses the Advanced Care Network. And yeah, it's their website has been easy to use for making
Coughing is quite a shock to the system, I guess, isn't it? I'm guessing.
Yeah, making appointments, and yeah. So I've been able to make my appointment, and you can pick your doctor, and they have a little biography about each doctor and their training and their education and their specialties, and so it's been cool. And yeah, that's who I went with for my eye surgery, and they have a very reputable neurology department.
Excellent.
So yeah, I've been very satisfied, very happy.
Good, glad to hear that. And MGen, I'm with MGen as well. That's working out for you as well. It's always good to know this sort of information, is it, when you're in a new culture and you get little nuggets like that. So, thanks, John. All the best to you. And to reiterate what Jackie, get behind this, what Jackie's saying. Big love and prayers to you from Jackie, from all of us, John. You take care, and we'll come on this journey to some extent with you and find out what's going on and do our best to support you. So reach out to us. If there's anything we can do for you, you know where we are as well, John. So we're going to sail. You know where I live. You literally do. So
yes.
Which river are we sailing down now to go and meet António Barbosa? Where is this river cruise that we're about to go on?
Oh, the one I sent you. That's we were on the Danube.
We're actually going to sail down the Danube now to go meet António. All right, John. I'm not going to do a rapturous round of applause because that might be a little bit uncomfortable for you, but. Yes, hugs, love and hugs to you. Love to Pam as well. Take care, mate. Bye for now. Thanks for joining us this morning. Take care.
Thank you, Carl.
A winter wonderland, a little trip down the Danube there. Bit of Tony time now. Calm down, everybody. They're very excited this morning. Yes, down the Danube, from Ponte De Lima, onto the boat, down the Danube, to wherever you are this morning. Good morning to you. Happy New Year to you. Tony, where are you?
I'm in Valença do Minho.
Okay, very good. The man in the Minho is in the Minho. The Minho flag is flying this morning. How are you? How was your Christmas?
It was good, relaxing, friends, getting drink a little much, eat a little much, so that's what Christmas is for.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been keeping us busy over at the Portugal Club with some of, you had a 2024 review and your thoughts for 2025, which I'm hoping you'll reiterate for us and elaborate on this morning. Just before we start that, John recommended his ophthalmologist of Viv. This is Bob talking about John's recommendation here, and we received great care. And the comment that the last ophthalmologist she had seen was a prophet doctor. Oh, that's interesting. Her cataracts aren't as bad as she was told. The power of a second opinion. And fantastic video, John. Hope you find relief soon from Bob and Viv as well. Glad to hear it, Bob and Viv. Portugal doctors' recommendations are always appreciated. So there you go. Let's help each other. Should we find ourselves in these sorts of difficulties? And Coach Turner, we're talking about you earlier on, Coach. Your video is up about easing gently back into the new year and going hard on the lard. I seem to have slept in. Good lad. Back to training this afternoon, but it'll be a case of gently does it. Be good, be safe, and be happy. Tony, have you just come from the gym? You were saying that you didn't want to start too early because it might interrupt your gym visit. Was that a joke? Have you been hitting the lard hard yourself this year?
Oh no, I go to the gym every day in the morning, Carl. I don't know if you know that. I do.
I didn't know that. No, good
you
for
have
you,
to
mate.
have a healthy, balanced life
Yeah.
and energy. And you gotta drink wine for sure, but you gotta eat. Then you gotta go to the gym.
You've got to. It's the law.
There's no miracles. I went to Asia, Thailand, and Cambodia, and China, and Vietnam last year, and I tried to find some magic pills, and they don't even have them. So,
Oh, really?
I have to go back to the gym.
the search continues, and until then, the gym every morning. So, how much of a workout do you mind talking about that? Because I think it can be quite inspiring for other people. And when I've done that, I've quite enjoyed it when I've managed to haul my sorry carcass in that direction. So what does your morning routine consist of at the gym?
At the gym, yeah. My day, it's got to start at the gym, and it's real quick. I mean, I go in there, I'm in and out in about an hour, 15 minutes with taking a shower and stuff. And very simple. I start off with 10 minutes warming up on a bicycle, or I like to do the elliptical. You start to sweat, burn it, just warming up. 10 minutes there. I do 30 minutes. I do a full body workout every single day. So I'm touching my chest, my back, my shoulders, my legs. Train your legs, guys. As you get older, forget about your arms. Forget about your beautiful chest. Concentrate on your legs. And your lower back. You're going to be doing a lot of getting up and down, and that's what you need to have strong lower body strength. Okay. As you get older, stronger lower body strength. So that's what I focus mostly on. And I do a full body workout. I touch different muscles. Well, again, different exercises. I do a nice routine. So it's like a cardio in 30 minutes, in and out, boom, 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 boom.
Boom, and done for the day.
And done. Take a nice and then I finish off with 20 minutes in the cardio, because that's the key. And you try to do it without eating anything in the morning on an empty stomach. Why? You're going to kill those calories. Okay, you're going to kill them. And especially in the end of 20 minutes, nice and comfortable. Again, bicycle. I like to do elliptical, not the treadmill. The bicycle and elliptical, it's not so hard on your knees. Okay. If you're getting out, no, I mean, these are all little tricks of the trade.
Yeah, no,
I've been going to the gym since I was 14 years old. So we're talking about over 40 years. That's part of my life. You may not, it may not seem, but I can outrun you. I could definitely keep up.
Let's do it. Let's recreate Chariots of Fire.
I'll drink you and outrun you, and most people.
Tony, I can't wait. Let's do it in San Martino. Let's get other people there. It'll be like Chariots of Fire on the beach. Okay,
who's
not?
Let us
know.
And then the last one standing gets hit in the head with an egg or something. I don't know. No prize.
Brilliant. And this might be for you. Bon dia to my fellow former DuPage. Is it DuPage or DuPage County resident? Is that it for you?
Maybe in Naperville. That's it. That's in Naperville, Illinois. It must be. It has to be. DuPage is there. It's Naperville, Illinois, right outside of Chicago. We helped a couple. We're helping them move to Viana do Castelo, and they are exactly from Naperville, Illinois, from the old downtown square. By the river and stuff like that. So it's a nice part, but it's a cold part of the world. And I can tell you, I lived there for 8 months, and I went there, Carl. I went there in March, and it was snow on the ground. And when I left there, which was like sometime in October, November, it was already snow on the ground at that time, and it was cold, bloody cold. I mean, and I said, with this kind of weather, I'm moving back to New York City. It's a little more mild.
Yeah, incredible. So
greetings. Yeah, I don't know, one bag and a passport. So greetings. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Mike and Karen, that'll be in Miranda de Corvo. They're here in Portugal now. Whilst we're traveling the world with you, any recommendations for Saigon or Da Nang, Tony, from Peter this morning?
Absolutely. Come with me on February 24th through March 9th. I was there. Saigon is actually Ho Chi Minh City. Okay, that's the old Saigon. Okay, definitely doing a trip on the Mekong Delta, without a doubt. That is, you have to take a cruise. Take a cruise there. Go for dinner on Oh no, that was in Cambodia, but they have it in Vietnam too. That was in Cambodia, which is a beautiful. I'm thinking Cambodia also as well is very nice.
You get
But
mixed up with your destinations, yeah.
no, because it's a beautiful river cruise, but they have there too on a river cruise and with the dance and everything. It's really exceptional. But without a doubt, the area of Van Don, and I'm going back February 24th. I don't know if you know, but we still have 4 seats left. People reach out to me if you want to go. It's a one of a kind. Listen, you're not going to be able to go. I made these connections last year, Carl, okay, when I went there. And you're never going to go to Vietnam for 5,300 euros staying at 5-star luxury hotels. Go to the island of Phu Quoc, Solar Life. Okay, go to the island of Phu Quoc. That's better than that was Phuket 30 years ago. Much nicer, cleaner, cheaper. Definitely the Van Don district. Okay, and go on a luxury yacht. Stay overnight. Get the experience of what it's like, water just warming up, like it's fumigating, like you're in a pot. But that used to be a volcanic, where all those little rocks that meet in the South China Sea. That postcard image, that is spectacular. Van Don is a great area, not only to invest. Da Nang is like Miami Beach, but a lot cheaper. Try to find there's great for an investment property, like a 1-bedroom apartment. There for around 125,000 euros that it could be. It's an apart hotel. Da Nang is like a little bit of Miami. Like when I say Miami, no offense to Miami. There's nothing comparison to there. But I mean in terms of beach, in terms of, younger, hip, etc. A lot of, Vietnam is a country that you're going to hear a lot about in the next 10 years. Like Portugal, many people are moving around. And, find your place in the sun. I mean, I always say Portugal is where I'm at,
What's going on? You are touring the world finding real estate opportunities then? Is that why you're heading to the Far East as well? That's part of it. It's not just a holiday. This is a trade mission as well, is it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we put this together. We're always looking for investment opportunities for investors. We have a lot of investors, okay, and they want to diversify portfolios. It's just not in Portugal. We're organizing one next year. Not this year. We can't do everything, but for Georgia, the country as well. Okay, these are opportunities that like countries of growth. Georgia is a country that, just to give you an idea, it was like Portugal 30 years ago. When you used to see a lot of cranes everywhere, all over the place. That's Georgia right now. That is Georgia. Okay. And so we find these opportunities and getting to know the culture the same way we do to Portugal here, where we have our friends or realtor friends and clients, buyers, investors visit Portugal, showing the culture, showing, everything, why invest in that country, meeting with local officials, meeting with the lawyers, representatives, this, that, to get business done. People setting up a business. They want to move to the Asian market, and Vietnam is a great place to set up a business. They went through some crazy things, in the last couple of, in the early, with the wars and everything else. But even those countries, even Cambodia is a beautiful country to visit. Again, that was the pleasure of doing it this year. And Portugal is on, like if you got to have plan A's, plan B's, plan C's, plan D's.
Yes.
You got to have in life, and you got to be prepared for anything, and these are the countries that I just love to visit. And because real estate opportunities are there, that's where our clients are looking to invest, have a holiday home. We have clients that collect homes, Carl. They're 3-4 homes. They're investing. They're renting it out. They're getting a return on investment, the appreciation value. They're buying low, selling high. That's real estate. And so if not, I love to do it, not just in Portugal, anywhere in the world. But it's just
and 4 places left. 4 places left. If people want to come and join you for that fabulous sounding Far Eastern trip,
you have to think of a 5-star. You're never going to go to Vietnam. To give you an idea, I spent about in 3 weeks last year about almost 20,000 euros altogether. Everything, just the flight alone cost me 1,200 euros flying from here to Asia. I actually flew into Thailand, to Bangkok. Just the flight alone, round trip. Then you have internal flights. Then you have the luxury yacht cruise. Then you have 5-star hotels, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No alcohol, guys. But believe me, the alcohol there, the wine, you have some really good wines, but imported. One of the great things there, gin is great. I love trying the Vietnam gin. It is a premium. Forget about the British gins and the Portuguese gins and gin. They're all great. They're all premium, but Vietnam has a great gin too.
Well,
and the 5-star,
yeah.
There's so many things there, and their coffees and teas the food is delicious too.
Of course,
find your place in the sun. That's all I always say.
Very good. Wasn't expecting that this morning, but there you go. Get in touch with Tony at Infinite Solutions if you want to be included on that trip, a little trip out of Portugal. And it sounds like a lot of fun, including gin and sailing boats and fabulous food and a lot
real
of stuff.
estate and real estate
and
investment.
real estate and investment opportunities. Fantastic. Right, 2024 then. You had a little look back over the year on your website and you shared that with us as well. Changes in immigration and citizenship policies, tax-related changes, real estate updates, digitalization of Portuguese services, and global events and their indirect impacts is what you were writing about in your review of 2024. What was the standout for you, and how is this affecting Portugal's standing in the world, Tony?
Well, Portugal is a beacon for, security at this moment. Whenever there's conflict in the world and things, people investors look for a safe place to park, to live to. That's a different story. And to live to, and to live. But investors, people are, when they're looking at, where am I putting my money? Where am I investing? Where's it going to be safe? We're safe because we actually, one of the big changes for this year was the elections in March. We are in the right direction. Okay, we're a country that we can't be too far left and too far right. We have to be in the middle. We have to have common sense. Probably is coming back. You can't be too far left. And I think, one of the beautiful things about Portugal, yes, we are a socialist country, but we are going to extreme left communism. Okay. I mean, look, literally what the things are going, the taxes that we are paying, companies and people are paying, we want to see where's this money going. They're streamlining a lot of things, the government encouraging foreign investment. Do you think Portugal got where it got if it wasn't for this foreign investment? I always hear people, we're complaining about foreigners. Listen, we were bankrupt. So I'm happy that this government, we were bankrupt in 2012. If it wasn't for the foreigners, if it wasn't for the golden visa, if it wasn't for the NHR, well, it's still up until, just so you know, one of the things up until March 2025, if you had to prove you had residency status as of October last year and your children enrolled in school, you could still qualify for NHR. Although it's done away with, but it's done away with. They have an NHR 0.2, which is something else that they did for the government that created, and that is to attract what? Attract talent, young talent, high qualified professionals, give them a flat tax rate of 20%. So all these changes the government made, for me, that was one of the biggest impacts, getting on the right track. And that's what investors want. They want stability. Portugal is a pretty stable democratic country. But we've only, one other big event this year, we celebrated 50 years of democracy, right? After 1974, right? April 25th, 1974. So 50 years was another big landmark this year. Of course, the real estate people now, the mais habitação that the old government tried to do, a lot of those things were done away with. One of them that now with the new government introduced for younger generation, anyone less than 35 years old, not paying on the property transfer tax, not paying on the stamp duty, etc. That's a big plus, up to 350,000 euros that they, on a young generation, not just Portuguese, foreign, it doesn't matter, young. So we want to attract younger generation. Remember this, Carl, Portugal has an aging population. Somebody's got to pay for their medical expenses and everything. So we have to attract that talent now, because that's what's going to pay our Social Security, mine, yours, John, with this, debilitating illness that he has, etc. Somebody's got to pay for that. Somebody's got to come. The foreigners, they make up more, what people contrary to believe, Carl, foreigners make up more of the tax paid benefits to the state. People don't realize that. The foreigners, with the amount of money that they bring in and they pay in taxes, has sustained their Social Security. Okay, so that is something that maybe most people don't know. It's the foreigners that have sustained our national health system. Okay.
Yeah, right. Absolutely, mate.
And so there's a lot of changes. Even in the real estate world, of course, panoramic, when you have world conflicts, these things will be done away with, more stability. But the more unstable the world gets, the more Portugal people look at, because it is a safe haven. It's not a slogan. Look it up. And that's, most people will tell you.
And that's a consolidation of last year then. So 24 gave us that. I think the government, generally speaking, seems to be doing a pretty good job, which is more than you can say for a lot of governments around the world at the moment. Yes, things have are stacking up quite nicely here. And I think you're absolutely right. We must encourage young people to have kids as well. That's very important to make the young people feel safe and secure in this country too. So looking forward then to 2025, what are you thinking and what are your predictions? Here's you, Tony, toasting the new year. I'm guessing that you're probably not doing dry January. There you are, raising a glass to 25. In a minute then, because we're just about to run over time, what are your hopes for 2025? How's it looking, building on that fabulous year of stability of 24?
It's going to be an incredible year for a lot of reasons. The U.S. market has been and will continue to be one of our biggest markets here for Portugal. I've been saying that Portugal will be, forget about Canada now with Trudeau, even even Canadians now. Canadians were getting fed up. Now Trudeau also resigned.
Yesterday. Wow, yeah.
Yeah. And so you're going to have a lot of Canadians and Americans, North Americans moving here, okay, without a doubt. And that's been, right. I've been saying that Portugal will become the 51st state, the new California or Florida, a mix in between. People used to laugh at me when I used to say that more than 20 years ago. Look at it now. So we're really inside that market, and we see it. When we used to have maybe 1, 2 North Americans here a week moving, now we have 3 or 4 requesting our services. So I could see that already, and it started, of course, all the social ramifications and elections. You know, people aren't happy. Move. You don't have to be there. You know, mm-hmm. Portugal welcomes you. That's what I always say. You know, but come as a happy person, because if you're not a happy person, no matter where you go. No matter if you go to Da Nang in Vietnam or anywhere in the world, you're not going to be happy. So
wherever you go, there you are, right? Yes. Tony, can we run a course then for those grumpy bums who think that moving is going to cheer them up? Happiness is an inside job, isn't it, Tony? Do we need to run some courses or workshops to help people understand and practice that, do you think?
Absolutely, and a lot of wine in the mix, of course.
Well,
you know, or maybe I always say that the whole world should smoke one big joint at a time. Everybody would be happy. You know?
Quite a lot of unexpected material or information in your segment this morning. Let's end with this beautiful picture of you toasting the new year, and it's almost like that's health and well-being advice in one meme there from the man in the Minho. Bit of Tony time this morning. Thank you very much, mate. You have a great day, and we'll see you again next month. All right, cheers, Tony. Take care and bye for now. Fabulous. Raising a glass. No dry January nonsense up there in the Minho. Last couple of comments then before we go. Cheers. Yes, Hugh doesn't need much encouragement to raise a glass. Mr. S. Shager disagrees, though, apparently. From 2 to 50 in Parliament says a lot. And you might say that's part of the balancing act that's going on, that is putting Portugal where it is. You know, it is a composite picture, isn't it? Politics. It's unhelpful for any particular influence to hold sway and drive things. It's all about balance and democracy. Going back to gin, Mises gin from Portugal is beautiful, says Garvo. Good to see you here this morning. And I don't generally like gin. He didn't like rosé wine until he came here as well. Speaking of cranes, as Tony was, they're all over the place. We have a healthy crop here in Ponte De Lima at the moment. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? These cranes just move around the world, don't they? They were in China, and now they're back in Ponte De Lima, as well as was he in Cambodia or Vietnam that Tony was talking about? Anyway, a lot of information from Tony this morning. Read his writing over at the Portugal Club, and our Portugal Club social tonight will be a chat. Last night's wine was wine boxes and Boxing Clever. And look, there's Mike and Karen with their box that they were enjoying last night of white. That I think has, if there's any left, that has pride of place in the fridge. We were talking about how to keep, having a fridge big enough to keep a wine box in it. Boxing Clever then was the name. And talking of boxing tonight, my boxing coach, he taught me a bit of boxing when I was in the UK. Chris Rattenbury called me the Cobra. Carl the Cobra will be with us tonight at the Portugal Club. And we're going to be asking him the question, what's going on in the UK, such that he doesn't want to be a grumpy bum over there. He wants to come and move to Portugal. We're going to be talking to him about how that might be possible tonight. And he's going to be telling us what it's like to be living in Blighty at the moment. That's at 8:30 this evening for the Portugal Club members. Sign up for that at gmpvip.com. And there was one other thing I wanted to show you. Yes, Munson and the Geezer tonight at 7 our favorite Portugal-based YouTubers, Portuguese-flavored YouTubers. Tonight, we'll be talking about our top 3, having a bit of fun with the Portuguese this evening. Thank you so much for being here this morning. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. And in the meantime, I wish you a very good day. A bon dia, in fact. And we'll see you again either this evening or tomorrow. Take care and bye for now. Ciao.
Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. A little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.